Why is it only showing me?
What's up, ladies? Sorry for this awful lighting.
Mine's not any better.
This is what I've got to work with. Hold on one second. I know we're in a hurry to get going.
Why can't I hear anything?
If y'all hear Willow in the background, she's going to sleep.
If we hear her, she's not going to sleep. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna switch to my phone.
Okay. Y'all, if that was me like 4 years ago, new baby coach, I'd be like, but now I'm like, whatever. Is this life? I'm trying to get a little better lighting because I'm stuck in this bedroom. Look, there's boxes behind me, making it work. Anyways, thank you for joining. I can't hear anything. Haley can't hear. Can y'all hear me?
I'm about to get on my phone because I think my service is spotty.
Can anybody else not hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hello.
I know y'all.
Okay.
But I barely hear it, but it's just not very loud.
All right, hold on. Let me mute. Maybe that'll help. Maybe this will help. Okay. Thank y'all for joining. We're going to get started because we have so much to cover, and there's going to be a few of us talking, and we only have 40 minutes. So I'm going to respect your time. I hope y'all can see me. I look so dark in my view. Whatever. As long as you can hear me, right? Hopefully you guys printed this off if you're fancy and you have a printer. Right, Vaughn. Because you don't know my full story. I don't know why there's echo. Hold on. I'm stuck in an apartment. I don't have my office. I don't have any of my things. And I have to work with what I got. If everybody could mute, there's a lot of feedback. I can't mute everybody for some reason. Not letting me. Okay. Can y'all still hear me? Yeah? Okay. Amy smile. I'll take that as a yes. Anyways, this is what we're going to cover. This is our simplified version of the business activity tracker. Our sweet square Mindy made this. If you're not using the business activity tracker or something like this or some form of tracking, you got to start tonight or tomorrow because it's crucial. These, we tell our challenge group that you got to do the things. You have to do the things or you're not going to get results. In the business, you got to do the things to share this gift. And these are the things. And so you'll hear like this call was called Power Hour. And so we want to stress that if you don't have an hour, that's okay. But I promise you have 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes here. If you do have an hour, sit down and check this baby off. So this is your checklist. This is what you need to be completing every single day if you really want to grow this business and grow, sharing this gift, because if you've been in this business long enough, it is easy to not do the things because we're all busy. Seriously, like raise your hand if you're busy. Everybody's busy. Everybody has a million things to do. And this, because it's not really like our full-time income, like, well, a lot of people it might be, but I think a lot of people on this call, it's not necessarily like if you don't do this, you're not going to have food in your belly, but wouldn't that change things? Like, wouldn't this checklist be like life or death, And so you have to treat this like what you want out of this is how important this checklist is going to be. There's no secret sauce. Everybody's like looking for this secret sauce, how to get this and how to grow bigger. It's doing more. It's doing more of these things on this list. So I'm going to do just like a quick overview, but Mindy and Paige are going to talk a little bit more about things that they, I don't know, kind of felt more confident in, maybe. We're all sharing a little bit on it. So you'll see at the top, well, really, all of them at the top, it's, add new friends, current friends. Anyways, all these things before invites and follow-ups. You guys, invites and follow-ups are crucial, but if you're not doing all these things above that box, you don't have anyone to invite, you don't have anyone to follow up with. So as much as we would love to just put a post out on Facebook or Instagram and people just flock to us, it's just not going to happen. It's just not the case. And it doesn't even happen for Ashley Molstad. Like, if you listen to any of her calls, she says you have to do the things. You have to invite, you have to follow up. And so if you're not adding new friends, then you're going to be inviting the same 5, the same 10. And I promise you, like, your goal every single month should be Success Club 5, and that's 3 people. You're going to have to invite 50 to get 3 yeses. I mean, on a good month, you might get lucky and invite 20. Like, that's a very good month. Like, you have to be talking to so many people, and sometimes that can be overwhelming, and you stop doing the things because you're just like, oh, I got to know today. Like, really? No, you should get 20 no's today. Like, you should go for the no's, because the no's are going to be how you're going to get the follow-ups. So the follow-ups, that you'll hear this a million times if you listen to any national wake-up call, they always say it's in the follow-ups. So you have to be inviting, you have to be followed up. Sorry, I'm going to try not to ramble, Mindy and Paige. I really want y'all to, y'all know I can get going. Okay, so add new friends. Whichever one's your favorite. Everybody says Facebook's dying, which truly I do see a huge change in Facebook just over the last 4 years. I don't know if it's necessarily dying, but it is changing, and a lot is moving towards Instagram. And so if you're new, I would highly encourage you to jump more into Instagram. I think you should do both, but that's just personal opinion. So you need to be either adding new friends on Facebook or following new people. And so not following and not just randomly friend requesting anyone and everyone. You want to make sure you have something in common, of course. What I like to do on Facebook is like friends of friends, but not necessarily like if you go to a friend and it's like friend of everyone on the screen, they're more than likely, not because seriously, like, you're going to see Jackie Woodfriend is friends with everybody, but she might not be talking to them and making those connections. So don't necessarily always roll that out, but you want to be aware of that. And also, if you have one friend in common, that might be like, okay, why is she sending me a friend request? So just be conscious about that and be aware, and look at their profile picture, look at their page, and like, do you want to go have a glass of wine with them? Or a cup of coffee. So really check out their page. But Instagram is a little tricky, and I'm definitely no pro with Instagram. But if you're searching, like if you go to that search bar, explore bar, if you put in Beachbody, I mean, come on, that's common sense. But you want to put in things that you do. And I know a lot of us will be like, well, I don't do anything. I'm so guilty of that. Like, I'm seriously a mom and I work out. Yes, we do. You just have to like think a little deeper. One thing that's been working for me is going to that explore bar and clicking on places. Like you'll see at the top, it has like tags, people, I forget the other one. There's places. Like click on places and type in Longview, Texas, or wherever you live, like your town or Tyler, Texas, like somewhere around there. And everyone in your community is going to pop up and you're just like, oh my gosh, these are people that are seriously like right down the road from me and I've never even seen them. And so a lot of times you'll be like, oh wow, that's really random that I know her. Like I've seen two people and wow, she looks so familiar. So that's just one little new thing on Instagram that it might not be new. It's new to me. That's been working. So moving on. Do you have any questions about that? Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I'm just a horrible rambler and I'm trying trying to stay on task. Going once? Okay, we'll save questions for then. So anyways, make new friends and have people to connect with because you got to connect with them, like connect. This is a relationship business. I can't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was on our Marco Polo, but like honestly, the only cold invite I ever do is if they have been watching my stories. And that's, even those are random. I feel like cold invites sometimes can come across as icky. Like if you've never talked to this person, you just send them a friend request, that is weird. Like, I wouldn't like that. You wouldn't like that. And so really the only like cold-ish invite is if someone has been watching my story, and it'll be something so simple because, let me rewind, in my stories, I'm talking about working out, I'm talking about my challenge groups, I'm talking about coaching, I'm talking about Shakeology, I'm showing the things. And so it's a little easier to have that cold invite, be like, hey girl, you're watching my story. Do you know, if you ever want to hear some more information on this challenge group I'm always talking about, or hey, you're watching my story, do you love to work out too? Thanks for the accountability. Like that to me is a cold-ish invite because you're just like, you're planting that seed. But to me, like, don't ever just say, I'm a Beachbody coach, do you want to join my challenge group? I mean, we know that. But with new coaches, now is the time where you kind of can do that. Not to strangers, but like, I always think about Paige and her doing hair. Like, more than likely, who were your first clients, Paige? Friends and family, right? Like, you had to get people in to practice. Okay, maybe not you. She looked at me like, no. But really, like, when you first start anything, I mean, let's just say you start working at Chick-fil-A. I don't know. It's the first thing that pops in my head. You're going to say, like, Mom, will you come see me working at Chick-fil-A? That's a bad example. But really, like, when you're a first coach, that's when you can. Like, I think back and I hit diamond so quickly, not like in 60 hours like some people do. But it honestly was just like friends and family, just like, hey, this is what I'm doing and you can get a discount. Do you want to do it? I mean, it was so simple. And then the more I got into it, and the more I complicated it, and like, oh, I don't want to say this, and judge this and judge that. That's when I made it harder. So now you kind of have a little advantage on some of those cold-ish invites to like your family and friends. Okay, so you also, wait, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Mindy, were you going to talk about, actually, I'm just going to let you talk, Mindy, and then whatever y'all don't cover, because y'all know I can just kind of take over.
Okay. I don't even know what you covered.
Good talk to you.
Okay, so adding new friends, And then the current friends, I didn't have enough space to put send a message or message current friends. It cut me off. So I just put current friends. But now y'all know what that means. Is that just means like anybody that's already on your friend list or that you're already following, just follow up with them. Send them a message, just how are you doing? Or go look through their page and comment about something that they've posted about or something that they're talking about, something just to get them re-engaged with you. This can also go with the 5-3-1 system that they talked about a while back. That is, you like 5 of their pictures, you comment on 3 of their pictures, and then you send them one message. And that one message can just be simple, like, hey, I saw that your daughter was in a cheer competition last weekend. How did she do? Like nothing about Beachbody, but something to get them reconnected to see you. So that was the 5-3-1 method. Actually, I might change this form to say that because I kind of like that right there with your current friends, but that's just me. So, and then I was going to show y'all how I do it because how, like Kristen said, this, if you can Google Power Hour, Beachbody Power Hour, and you're going to see like probably 20 or 50 forms that you could use, but we kind of took the best of all of them and what we thought were the necessities and put them in here. But it's not like Kristen said, it's not like an hour. I like to break mine up. So something I do in the carpool line, I'll sit on my phone and yes, I have a clipboard. Yes, I'm the organizer square. But I'll sit there and like go through my most recent posts, go through my stories, and just start writing down names. And that's like a separate time. And then later tonight, after this call, I'll go through and I'll send each one of them a message or comment on one of their pictures, just a way to connect with this person that is watching my stories or liked my picture or whatever it is. And then I'll give them a check mark. So I don't always do it all at the same time because that's what works for me. Oh gosh. The point of this is basically just like if you put 5 names in each of these categories, then you're connecting with 30 people every day. And if you put 3 people in these categories, you're connecting with 18 people every day. And that's going to be 18 more than you connected with the day before when you weren't like methodically going through a system to build your business. So story watchers and post likes, that's kind of common sense. But I just go through and find the people that have been watching my story that I haven't, like maybe I haven't looked at their stuff. Because if you've noticed on your stories, some of the people, they're just always going to watch. And then sometimes you have new ones. And so I always write down the new ones. Sorry, my dog's getting into something. But I always write down the new people that I haven't seen pop up in a while. And something I heard a while back about somebody said that like when someone likes or comments on your photo or your post, then it's kind of like they're winking at you, like they're giving you permission. It's like eye contact. They're giving you permission to talk to them. And so I really like that. And I kind of took that. I'm like, okay, you're going to like my picture. I'm going to go say something to you. But my stories, sometimes I have story creepers. And those are the people to me that always watch your story, that never respond to a message, but every single story, every single day, no matter if it's 5 or if it's 25 of them, their name is going to be at the bottom of that story. And those are the people I don't care about sending a cold invite to, because if they're going to creep on me every single day, like I feel like they're peeking in my window and not saying hi. Like that's just kind of creepy. But that's me. So I don't mind sending a message because I'm like, you know what? You're creepy. I'm just going to ask you again to join my group because you know what I'm talking about and you know what I'm doing. So you don't always have to do it like that. Maybe if you feel like they're creepy, then just make sure. And I also like it to be like, hey, I see you watching my stories, so that they know that I can see them being creepy, honestly. Like that might be bad, but you know what? I don't care. So, but anyway, I go through, and sometimes for those story watchers, I'll do that same 5-3-1 method with them, and the same thing for the people that are liking or commenting on my posts. And then the watch and comment on the stories is, you can go through, and it's just an easy way to connect with somebody new. Just tap through. Time out. Trent. Now. Sorry, I snap at my kids when they're not listening. She's tearing something up. But just go through and click through, watch their stories. If it's something cute, something funny, you can comment with just one word or ask them a question about it. But it's something just to build that connection with that person that you might not see their whatever on Facebook, but you can see their stories on Instagram or on Facebook and just build a connection that way. Any questions, or are we saving those for the end? There's somebody on the chat.
Yeah, we can save
Okay.
those. I was gonna add with the stories, y'all. Stories are the bomb.com. Like seriously, stories needs to be everyone's jam, because like it's always been a struggle and peaks and valleys. Hey Trent, with sharing too much. Like you obviously don't want to post your workout every day. You don't want to post your Shakeology every day. You don't want to say Beachbody every single day, because it becomes white noise. But your stories, you can easily every day share your life, and it's up to someone to click on your story. Like they want to see it. It's not just like scroll. So stories, like seriously, that's where a lot needs. You can't just do stories. Like be careful with that. Like you still gotta post, you still gotta, do all the fun things. Like, but that's the thing, like all these things before the invite and follow up, those are fun. Like they might be tedious and time consuming, and you're not necessarily like making money at first. And of course this is a business. Nobody wants to work for free, but it's so fun. But then you get to the invites, and then you get to the follow-ups, and you're like, ooh, that's not fun. That's mindset. Like that's when the fun begins. Like look at all these people on this call, all these people in your challenge group. Like you didn't get here without an invite. Well, Jessica, she did. She's sweet Jessica. She was just like, I want to be a Beachbody coach. But she's rare. She's just like this gem. It's awesome though. But that does happen. But more than likely, like you've got to make these connections with people, and you have to like be doing the things, but you cannot leave the invites and follow-ups. Okay. Paige.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Amber, I don't know if Amber's below me on your screen, but she's below me on my screen. She was going to do birthdays. But first, time out. Everybody smile.
Oh.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Everybody smiling? There you go. Okay. Now Amber can talk.
Okay. So the birthday messaging, that's really the super easy part. And I am a birthday message. So Mindy got me on my birthday just by sending me happy birthday. And I'd already been seeing her stuff and following her stories. And she sent me happy birthday one day. And I was like, thank you. And then I'm like, I want to do what you do. Like it immediately turned around, and that's how I kind of jumped in with her. So it's pretty self-explanatory to just go in on Facebook and just click on birthdays and just send everybody a little happy birthday message. That's
Yeah.
me.
Paige.
You did it. Amber, on that, or Mindy, did you send, like, do you send birthday messages with a DM, like in the inbox, or do you just post it on the wall?
Oh, message.
Inbox, yeah.
Gotcha.
I never do it on their wall because they probably aren't going to see it.
Do what?
I said I don't ever do it on their wall, and I have it in my like birthday messages. Literally take me 30 seconds, but depending on how many people have a birthday that day, like today I have 6, and that might take me a minute. but I have it on the text replacement. If y'all haven't done that, we can give you instructions. But so my birthday message, I'm going to change. I decided I should change it every year so that I'm not sending the same one to the same people every year. But so my text replacement is HB. So I just go in to their message, type HB, and my entire happy birthday, hope you have a blessed day with the balloons and the cake and stuff comes up, and I hit send and it's done. Like, that's all I have to type every time is HB, and it's done. So that's a super easy way to connect with a lot of people every day in like this much time. So.
Love that. I'm going to definitely start changing that because I always post on people's wall, but like you said, there's like 5,000 people that post on your freaking Facebook on your birthday, which is wonderful that your phone's like blowing up all day, you know. So I love that. I just told them that I just wanted to share with y'all, and I've kind of already shared this with my team people, but something that I heard, I can't remember who said it, but a coach said it the other day, and I was like, yes, because Kristen posted the poll in our group asking like what people have a hard time with, and the biggest thing is always inviting. And I remember for me, I remember when I first started, I would be like, Kristen, oh my gosh, I don't want to send this message. And she's like, just send it. Just hit send. You know, and so it's hard at first though. You're nervous and you're scared and it's uncomfortable and you don't know what to say sometimes. But the thing about it is, like Kristen just said, all of us are here because someone invited us. And I mean, y'all, Kristen watched a little bit of my live that I did Friday night for no reason at all. Because, and I said on there, I was like, you know, if she wouldn't have invited me to this journey, I wouldn't have been live on my Facebook. It's not just about health and fitness. You have to think of the bigger picture. You have to think about someone invited me to this, and what did it do for my life? And I said on my live video, when I say that this changed my life, I don't just say that, I mean that. Like, it sincerely did. I would never be as comfortable as I am with who I am right now. Sorry. If it wasn't for her inviting me. And so, I understand that it's uncomfortable, but please just try to remember that whatever it's done for you, when you invite other people, it can do that for them. That's huge. That's not a little thing. And you're going to get 500 million no's. And that's okay, because for the 500 million no's you get, you're going to get one yes, and you're going to change their life. And that's why we're in this business. That's why we do what we do. So, anyway, I'm trying to quit crying. It's simple.
Can I just throw in, how many times did you tell me no?
Oh. I mean, I told her no for like 4 months before I ever did it. And I was one of those people that was like, oh, it's free? Okay, yeah, then I'll do it if it's free.
Yeah, she joined a free group first.
I was, and that's how, you know, I started. But it's simple. We take care of ourselves first. And what other business is going to tell you to do that, really? No other business. No other business is going to say, hey, first thing I want you to do for your job is I want you to take care of yourself. You're right. It's not going to happen. So take care of you, share your journey, which we do all the time anyway, and then invite other people to join you. You can invite them and tell them what you're doing. That's, if they don't want to, that's on them. That's not on you. You just have to extend that invitation. And one more thing that I wanted to share was, I was telling them I had 2 people, one last week, one this week. I've been inviting them for a solid 1.5 years. The whole 1.5 years that I have been a coach, I have been sending them messages as much as I felt comfortable sending them messages. Sometimes every 3 months, sometimes every other month, whatever. But for 1.5 years, these 2 women, I have been messaging. Hey, have you thought any more about joining me? Hey, still thinking about you. Hey, hey. They finally joined after 1.5 years. Don't give up on people. It took her 4 months to get me to join. It took me 1.5 years to get these 2 ladies to join. Just because they're a no right now doesn't mean that they're a no forever. It could change. And something that Ashley said that really like hit me the other day, I don't remember if I was watching her story or something, but she said, if you want to grow in this business, you have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable. And how uncomfortable are you willing to get to grow your business and change your life? And for me, I was like, yes, like I want to get uncomfortable. You have to. That's just part of it. And you hear that all the time, oh, you have to step outside of your comfort zone to go new places. And it's true. I was not comfortable inviting, posting, any of that, going live on Facebook. None of that at first when I started. But I got there. It took time, but I got there. And I still have days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to post this, or oh, I don't want to message her. But you just do it anyway, because who cares? Just do it. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, nobody ever died from posting or inviting. Like, the worst thing that can happen is they can say no, or they don't say anything, which is so rude. That drives me crazy, because I'm like, gosh, if I walked up to you in a coffee shop and was like, hey, how's your day? And you just looked at me and blank stared in my face, I'd be like, oh. Like, that's the same thing, like, even when people send me, copy and paste messages, you can totally tell when they're copy and pasted. I always say, thank you so much, even though I know what you're doing. That's why we have to hold ourselves differently, because there are so many MLMs out there, and a lot of them, like, there are some good ones. I have no problem with MLMs. Hello, we're in one. Things are changing virtually, but it's sometimes the way people go about things. And so that's where you have to hold yourself differently. That's where you have to see a difference in this. Like, if you go into this thinking like, I'm only saying happy birthday because I want this girl to one day give me 2 Success Club points. Like, that's gross. Like, don't think that way. Like, I'm only saying happy birthday because I need $50. Like, no. Like, I'm saying happy birthday to this girl, one, because that's just nice and we're friends on Facebook. Like, that's just what people should do. But truly, like, you're just making that connection because you know what this could lead to, possibly. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You have a friend. Like, you have a friend that maybe just needs you to make her smile. Like, you have to go about it so differently, and it's so tedious. And honestly, like, there are some days where you work for pennies, but if you don't believe in this enough, then you're not going to be okay with that. Like, you have to believe in this and see potential and see your future in this, and see that all these tedious things that do take up time is going to pay off, not necessarily just financially, but like, oh my gosh, like when you have a mom tell you that, they play with their kids now, or they can look in the mirror now, or, honestly, like, look at Paige's story. Like, it's so much bigger, and you have to be okay with doing these things, but you have to do them. Like, you always flip it. Just, if you were having a challenge group and somebody said at the end, like, somebody gets to the end of Transform 20 and they're like, yeah, nothing, no changes, nothing. I still feel like crap. Oh, well, what'd you do? Well, I bought it. Okay, well, you didn't do anything. Like, you can't just sit back and wish to be diamond, or wish to make this, or wish to help this many, or whatever it may be, and not do what's on this list. And this is like, if you see people that they did it faster, or they did more, like they outworked you, us, with these things. And you just have to decide, like, what you're okay with. Like, if you only have 5 minutes, which you got more than 5 minutes, but if you only have 5 minutes, it better be the most fabulous, driven 5 minutes of your day to devote to this. Like, whatever time you have to devote to this, put on your blinders, put in your headphones, set your timer, and do the work, because it can be so distracting. We have so much going on, and I don't know about you, but it's like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Turn off your notifications. Don't you dare do anything with your power hour with your notifications on. You shouldn't even have those on anyways. Like, check it when you want to check it. when you send out your messages, like on Messenger, if your goal is to send 10 and like while you're sending 10, somebody responds and you're like, oh, somebody clicked. No, you send out your 10. And then if you have time, then you go back and respond. Like you have to make sure you're getting these things done. Don't be scrolling Instagram, scrolling Facebook, unless you're looking for people to connect. And truly, like, I know we've said that you have to do all the connections and all those things first before you can invite, but it's kind of fun to scroll and, make connections, and like you can get lost in that. Like that's why you have to set that timer, because if you've gone through your power hour and you haven't done any invites or follow-ups, you're not growing. You're not sharing this. You're just, making friends, which that's fine. But I want everyone on here to, like your time is precious. And so, make the most of it. Hold on, make sure I've covered everything. Y'all have any stories? Have any stories to share? Mindy?
Hey, did I miss it? Because we never talked about like, if you need to focus, like set a 5-minute timer per block and just do that specific block for 5 minutes. And if you add 18 new friends in 5 minutes, then way to go. That's amazing. Or if you really look through and pick out who you want to add friends with and you add 5 in 5 minutes, then good. And then once that timer's up, move on to the next box. But that's how you can make this like a true power hour, is set that timer per box. I mean, if you did 5 minutes per box, that's 30 minutes right there. And then you can work on your posts or get your ideas for what you want to post the next day and then do all your other stuff. But, if you need to start with 3 minutes, then start with 3 and then work your way up to like 10 minutes per box. But that way you're only focusing on one thing at a time instead of squiggling all around.
Yeah. Well, and like you'll notice that at the bottom is post ideas or writing up posts. Like if you have time, write up your post ahead of time, or just like jot down an idea. But don't do that before you've done, the business building activities. But you also it's tricky. You have to find the fine line with that, because you can't not be posting either. You can't not be doing your stories. But, so you don't want to like nix either one of them, but that should not come first. Like I would much rather do invites and follow-ups. And if I don't have time to write a post, then it's okay. It's okay. I'll do that tomorrow. Like that's not really biggest business building thing, because you might have 5,000 Facebook friends, but 100 might see your post, and that's a huge example. Like most people don't have 5,000 friends. So connecting, and the more people you're talking to on Instagram and Facebook, have you noticed, like when you send somebody a birthday message or when you send somebody a message, then you start seeing their stuff? That's just how all of it works. Facebook and Instagram, like it all works together. Same thing with stories. Like if I just scroll through in stories and start commenting on other stories, then I notice they're watching my stories. So
on the stories, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard too that the more you have, I want to say Carl was talking about this actually. The more stories that you have for your day, the further up in someone's scroll you're going to be. So the more you post.
Yeah, it's more, and it's consistent. Like if you're just doing, 1,000 on Monday, nothing again till Sunday, that's not. But also, like, you definitely want to have a lot, but I don't know about you guys, but if you click on the story at the top, it just looks like one long line. It's just like, I mean, what do you do? Click, 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 click.
Some of them I watch. Some.
If it's someone that you know and it's like really intriguing, then for sure. But you don't want to have so many where it's just like, it's a little, overwhelming. but you don't want to just click on it and it's just like one. Well, that was boring. And also, like, don't stress about these things. I went through a stage where I just, oh my gosh, I've got a poster. Oh my gosh, I got to do a story. Oh my gosh. Like, that's when it's no fun. And that's when you can overwhelm yourself and just say, maybe this is not for me. You know, you have to work on your mindset. You have to be doing your personal development. It's huge because those thoughts can get in your head and you're just like, oh, I don't want to stress about posting. Don't stress about posting. That's why it's so important to, if you have time, write them up. If you don't, like, it seriously can be so easy. Like, save posts, save pictures. This is business. It's not, I mean, if you post a picture that's 3 months old, you don't have to go, that's lying because that's not today. Are you kidding? Like, nobody knows that. And you're not saying, guess what I did today? Like, it's just you saying some words, you know? Like, it's just a blog. Like, if you wrote a blog, wouldn't you have your picture by it? Because if not, nobody's going to even know who's saying those words. So.
On the personal development, she's preaching right now because for the year and a half, I had the same book on my nightstand, okay? And I was like, oh, I like it. I really like it. I'm going to read it. Yeah, no. It just wasn't for me. You have to find something that's for you. And y'all, let me tell you, if you have not listened to Brene Brown's The Power of Vulnerability, holy moly. Y'all, I'm already like 4 hours in and I've only been listening to it for a few days. It's amazing and it will change your life, so you should listen to it. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, another good audio book is, because I like to read because I like to write and highlight and take notes. But one good book that I did like listening to is The Energy Bus, right? That's what it's called. Yeah, that one, because it's just a really good, easy listening. You don't necessarily feel like you have to underline and take lots of notes with it. But seriously, like, everyone washes dishes, everyone's doing laundry, everyone is taking a shower, everyone is getting ready, everyone is in the car. You have time for personal development. And if you don't, you need to make time just like you make time for your workouts, because it is just as important to work on your mind than, you know, just like working on your heart and your body. And I mean, it's huge. Do it while you're working out. Although with Transform 20, it's really hard. Like, I used to, almost every single program, I always have personal development plan or some good music, depending on which mood I'm in. But Transform 20, I love Shaun T for one, but also, like, you got to really focus or you're going to fall. So, any other questions? Anything y'all want to add, like, about inviting? Because I know that's always, like, everyone's, I don't know what to do. Even 4 years later, guys, honestly, 4 years I've been coaching, there's not, I mean, it's definitely easier, but there are still days where I'm just like, oh my God, this girl, I don't know if it's the right time. I'm just going to do it. And then she's like, oh my gosh, yes. Not really. That was sarcasm. Every once in a while.
Wasn't it Mindy too that said a good way for, like, post ideas? I think she said faith, family, and fitness, and I love that, because if you don't have any ideas on what you want to post, you can always go back to those three things.
Mm-hmm.
Faith, fitness, it's easy. I love that.
Yeah, I know people ask me all the time, like, where do you come up with your posts? I'm like, I was just born this way. No, personal development. Like, personal development is where I get all of my challenge group posts or my devotional, or, I mean, every once in a while it's just like something on my heart, but like, you're just, that's where these words come from. Like, it invokes these thoughts. And so
I put it in the group chat, but like the voice to text option, or on my phone when I'm driving, I feel like that's when I get my best post. I'll just start talking to my phone as I'm driving, and then later on I'll clean it up and make a post out of it.
Oh, that's smart. I always get my best ideas in the shower. I need like a dry erase marker in there. I do have a Bluetooth speaker in there. I mean, you gotta make it work. Gotta get it in. Like those national wake up calls, y'all should be listening to all of them. They're always so good. Just fast forward to the meat of the call. That's what they always say. Jennifer, where are you? Okay, she's not talking. I'm super jealous is why I'm asking.
No, I nukes.
Oh, nice. Look at you. See, look at her. This woman got 5 kids, so she had to escape. That is making it happen. Okay, well, if y'all don't have any questions, what we wanted to do, maybe next week if it works out, is we wanted to actually have like a power hour where we do these things, like we set the timer and we, of course we talk a little bit, but we're actually like implement these and put them into action, and like the pressure is going to be on because we're going to record everything you do. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But what I would like y'all to do, I mean, we really want to do a live power hour, but I'm just kidding about. I would love everyone to post a picture of this in the team page tomorrow. That is your goal. And you can choose. Like, this is your business. So I'm not telling anyone to put 5, 10, 20, 50. Like, that's totally up to you. I'm nobody's boss. You're your own boss. But I would love for everyone to post that in the team page tomorrow, just for some extra accountability, and say like how long it took you and how much more accomplished you feel. I promise you will. I promise. You're not using some kind of tracking. First of all, you don't have anybody to follow up with if you're not doing tracking. You got to do tracking, and you're going to feel all over the place. So stick to the plan. There's some chats. You been checking these? Oh, it's just Amber. It's just Amber. She already said it. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for coming, joining. I'm tired, y'all. Very dead. I want to get one picture too. While everybody's on, real quick. Say cheese. Thank y'all so
Wait.
much.
Can I grab my unicorn and pose with it?
Oh, yeah, you should have had that sitting right by you. All right, well, as always, y'all let us know if y'all need anything at all, and hopefully, I hope this call helps. Give me a whoop whoop if it did. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night.
Bye, y'all.